This video is about the Traxxas Slash. I've had this car for a couple years now, and I drive it sometimes, but not as often as my other cars, mostly because of the tires on this. The other cars I have are monster trucks. I have the Traxxas Max, I have the Stampede, and they have bigger tires, and I can drive those through any type of grass, anything like that, and it doesn't get stuck. But this car gets stuck a lot. Whenever I'm in thick grass, things like that, it will get stuck. If you look at the tires, these were the stock tires that came with it right here. I think these were on the back before. I'm not sure if it's switched on the front. And for the back, I got these tires last year, I believe, and they helped. They kept it from getting stuck some, but still, it's not the same. It's still to get stuck in some of the grass, and that did help the traction, but not as much as I wanted it to. So with that being the case, I'll drive my other cars because I can take them wherever I want to, and this one just gets stuck too often. So in order to fix that, I am going to convert this car from what it is right now into a monster slash. I saw some videos online to do this, and I'm excited about this. I think this car will be awesome once you get it upgraded. To do that, I want to show you, these are some of the other tires. If you look, the size of these tires are pretty small. There's a little bit of traction. I mean, this one is better shape, but even still, even brand new tires, it just doesn't have the grip that a monster truck has. So, I'm using these Pro-Line trenchers. Here's the part number down there. And what's cool about these tires is you buy the same ones for the front and the back because they have a little hub or something in the middle where you can change the offset. There's two different sizes, like one for the front, one for the back. So you buy the same tires for the front and the back. So I got 4 of them, and we're going to mount that on there. Now, in order to do this, to make the body to fit, you need these body mounts. Here's the part number for this. That is the one for the Slash 2-wheel drive. So that's going to raise the body up on this. And one last thing that you got to do for this, also it's important, so some people don't mention when they're doing this conversion, is you got to change the gear ratio. I'm not sure what the factory gear ratio is. I don't think I've opened that up before on this car. I may have been in the gearbox once or twice, but I don't think I've ever changed it, so it's probably whatever the stock gear ratio was. So I got some extra gears for this, and we're going to take this apart. I'm going to show you what it looks like in the process and what it looks like when it's done. So open the gearbox, and right now you can see it has an 86 tooth pinion or spur gear, and the pinion, it's hard to see. I'm going to try to zoom in on that. It's a 23 tooth. So I may leave the spur gear as the 86 tooth and then put in a much smaller pinion than that. I'm not sure if I have to do both, but I'm definitely going to change the pinion gear. I have a 14 and a 16. I'll make it with a 16 tooth and see where it goes from there. But I just want to show you what was currently set up in here. You can see I have the tires off and the shocks off. I cleaned it up pretty good. I scrubbed it as much as I could the whole way around. It looks a good bit cleaner. As you can see, the shocks are off. I have all the shocks in here. I took them apart. I'm going to redo them. I had 2 problems with these shocks. First of all, these back ones were bent. So as you can see, I have the titanium coated shock shafts because those ones were bent. So I put those on the back. Also, I have these aluminum shock caps for this. I've had this all for a long time. But you see, this has a little rubber bladder in there to keep the oil from coming out. And one of my shocks, one of the back ones, did not have that on it. And so you could tell it was missing some oil. It didn't feel right compared to the other one. So I found that bladder was missing, so I ordered the bladder part for that. So I'm going to wait for that to get to rebuild those shocks. And then at that point, everything should be ready to go with the tires. I'll put on the body mounts and see what it looks like. I want to do an upgrade on the drive shafts for this. Here's the part number here, 6852A. It says drive shafts assembly rear heavy duty or extreme heavy duty. So I did the same thing on my Stampede. If you look at the drive shafts in here, these things get bent up, and sometimes these little pins shear. There's 2 pins there. one there and one there, and then they come through down here as well. Oh, there they are. And usually that's a place where they fail. What happens is that plastic stretches out because it's under a lot of stress, and so they go bad. These are the extreme heavy duty, what they call. If you look, they're a lot thicker. Put it beside the one so you can see the difference. So they're a good bit heavier duty. So I wanted to put those on there. Like I said, I did the same thing with my Stampede. I figured since I'm going to put on the big tires on this, it'd be a good idea to put on heavier drive shafts. Hopefully that will prevent these things from breaking. And see how that one goes. I still have the car down right now. I got the body posts on. As you can see, I got the tires. The shocks are rebuilt. I have the body here. Let me put the body on it. I thought this body looks awesome on it. It looks really good. This color is incredible. The only really issue I had with the body was trying to get this from rubbing. I trimmed a lot of this area here and then back here as well, on both sides obviously. But the only thing I didn't like with the Proline posts that I got, the body mount post, is that these front ones were kind of short. These long ones, the back ones are really long. You can see they give you a lot of extra room down here. In the front, I have this at the max height, and they're kind of short. When I compared them to the stock ones, they weren't much bigger at all. So if they just would have added an extra inch or so, I could have raised that up and wouldn't have to trim the body up so much. Okay, right now I'm going to reinforce the body. As you can see, I already have this tape down. Instead of using drywall tape, I'm using this stuff here. It's called fiber tape. And then for the body, this is a really big body. So instead of buying a lot of different things of shoe goo, I bought this great big tube of E6000. I'm going to put that along on the whole inside of that, and that's going to make this a lot more stiff. It's a really good body. I want to protect it. I keep it as good as long as I can. So this is going to be the best way to do that. So everything is done on the Slash. I wanted to show you what I've done so far, or where we're at now. If you look at the body, you can see I have that stuff in it. It's the E6000 and this fiber tape. It makes the body a lot more durable and stiffer, a lot more solid. It's a lot heavier than it was before. I learned to do this quite a while ago, and I think it keeps the bodies a lot better. Also with the body, I installed the RPM skid plates on the roof right there. And I found that right here and right here is where if the car would land, it wasn't touching the bottom at all. It was actually rubbing against the top of this corner right there. So when you put it upside down and you look at it, if it rubs right there, it's going to be on just those two skid plates. So that's what I did with that. Now as far as the car goes, I just installed these aluminum hubs. So I got all 4 hubs on there. And everything else is ready to go. I never really had too much aluminum on many of my cars. It's more expensive, and I never really saw the need for it, because when the car's covered up, you don't see it. But I tell you what, with these hubs and the shock caps, and it matches the blue VXL motor, I think it looks pretty cool. So I'm going to put everything back together and then show you the final shot of this thing. Here it is. It's completely done. I thought it turned out great. I love the body. I love these tires. I think it's going to be a great car to take out and have fun with. Here it is.